going on, everybody? That's Trey pulling in right now. I'm recording off my phone. I got my headphones in. Sorry, I turned this light on. So it is 6:41, November 7th, 2024. I guess, what is this, 2 days or November? I mean, technically, I guess it's 2 days later, but I'm still blown away by kind of what happened today. But it's November 7th. Election was on November 5th, and Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance are the president and the vice president of the United States. And there's Trey. He's in the older Chevy today. So I got that original TheBellLife sticker. Man, we put that sticker on back in 2016. Been on there for, golly, what is that? 8 years, almost 9 years. But still got the vest on. We just got back home from work and the gym and stuff, and around 11 o'clock today, I guess, I had a delivery to a place. It's basically at the airport, at Cincinnati Airport, and around that area. And I get there, knock on the door, and I guess I could turn the truck off. Turn this. Just there. Turn the lights off. I get there and knock on the door, and guy answers and said, "Hey, got the whole normal, got to deliver for you," and blah blah blah. And there's no dock at this place or whatever, so normally they come out from behind the fence and they pull the freight off the back of the truck with a forklift. I bring it to the edge and they get on it with a forklift and take it back behind the fence and back inside the building. And everything around the airport is pretty, high security, normal stuff or whatever. So it's a little bit different. But anyways, he says, yeah, he said, I'll come, pull around. There's a spot that I normally pull around to. I've picked up there once, but I've never delivered. So he says, yeah, I picked up, like, it was either last week or the week before. He said, pull around to that spot where, I loaded you up before and I'll unload you. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, hey, you got a second? You want to see something cool? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So, which is weird because at the airport, they got, normally got all these rules and, you got to do a cartwheel and you got to show them your license upside down and, you got to pull on the right ear. Every place has got their own rules. It's absolutely crazy. That's a whole nother video. But, so we walk from where we were at. I don't even know how to explain where we were at in this kind of little room. We walk out this man door into the hangar, and there's like, this hangar's ginormous. We could fit 10 of our houses in this hangar. I don't know about your all's houses, but ours are smaller, 1,000 square foot houses around here. But so we walk out in the hangar. It's huge, and there's like 5 or 6 jets in there. I guess they're called private jets or whatever. And I said, "Oh man, this is really cool." And he's like, "No, this, he's looking at me. He's like, "No, this isn't what I was talking." I'm like, "What are you talking?" And he points, and I look out, and the big hangar doors are open. I didn't even notice it, like a clown. The big hangar doors are open, and not on the runway, but like out on this other spot in front of the hangar. I don't know how to explain it. Is J.D. Vance, his plane. And I'm like, what the heck? This is how dumb I am, of course. I'm like, what the heck is his plane? What's he doing here? And he's like, he lives here. And I'm like, what? He does? And I'm, such a clown. I'm like, I was just I didn't have any idea what was about to happen. I was just trying to be nice to the guy that I was talking to, And he's like, yeah, he lives, right over here in the, Cincinnati area. And I'm like, holy crap. He lives like 20 minutes from us. And so I'm like, wow. And he goes, speak of the devil. there he is. And I'm like, what? So I turn and look, and there he comes. JD Vance with security and his whole posse walking. And the guy that I'm with watches the videos and stuff, and he's like, hey, JD. He goes, you got a YouTube superstar over here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. And then that JD starts walking over towards us, and I'm like, holy crap, he's coming over here. And still just absolutely blown away. I'm resting y'all on the steering wheel here. My hand's getting tired. But he walks over, and I'm like, what in the world do I say? And I'm like, I don't know what to, say. What do you say to I mean, obviously, I guess the first thing you say, which is what I said, is, I guess, congratulations. And he started smiling, and he said, thanks. And I'm like, man, this is really surreal, and, not really sure what I'm supposed to, say to somebody this important. And he goes, I'm just like you. And I'm like, man, it's really cool. He's like, so you guys do YouTube? And I'm like, well, I said, yeah, it's a really long story, man. I said, we started back in 2016, and I said, we're, still going, to this day. And he said, well, I got time. What happened? I'm like, I can't believe this. So you all have heard the story about our story a bunch of times over the years. And 37 minutes later, basically 40 minutes, I got done telling the story. He talked to me for 40 minutes. It's unbelievable. And just very cool guy. Very, just like a normal dude, just like us. It's really surreal to meet somebody like that. But, talking to him, I could tell he's extremely smart, and, it doesn't take a really smart person when I'm talking to somebody to realize that they're smarter than me, because there's a lot of people that are smarter than me, obviously. But just talking to him, and it's Alpha, by the way. Everybody said in the last video, no, it's not snus or tobacco, it's caffeine pouches. But still looking for a sponsor, Alpha. But so I talked to him for 40 minutes, told him the whole story from start to finish, channel, getting the lead, and all of the stuff that's happened to us. And pulls his phone out of his pocket, and this was a whole funny little thing. There's a bunch to this story, but I was so blown away by what was actually going on, I couldn't believe it. And pulls his phone out of his pocket, goes to YouTube, the app, and the first thing he does when he pulls his phone out, I said automatically when he pulls his phone up, I'm like, oh, an iPhone. And he looked at me, he said, yeah, you never know about those Android users. And he winked at me, and I'm like, holy crap, and it's just whatever. I was just kind of just small talk with him, and goes to YouTube, goes to TheBellLife, bangs, and subscribes right in front of me. And I didn't say, go subscribe, go anything, any of that kind of stuff. Then hits the notification bell. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, how in the world does he know, to do all this stuff? And I'm just, it's like I was talking to an alien there, and I'm like, obviously he's just, I guess now I know he's just a normal guy just like us. And I'm like, man, I couldn't believe he just subscribed right in front of me. It was unbelievable. And so we're still talking, there's just all the conversation. It was mainly about, YouTube and our journey. And he's like, he did say, he's like, you guys could have a Netflix original series. I'm like, technically, we could probably do at least 2 or 3, 45-minute episodes of explaining everything that went on with us. But I'm like, yeah, we could. And he's like, oh yeah, before I forget, pulls his phone back out of his pocket. Okay, here's the kicker. Pulls his phone back out of his pocket, goes back to YouTube, to TheBellLife, bangs, goes to the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of your phone, which I don't know where it's at on Androids or whatever, but on iPhones it's the top right-hand corner. The 3 little dots, hits copy link. He's copying the link, right? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to share this across his social medias or something. I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. I'm like, I can't believe he's about ready to do this. And he didn't do that. But what he did instead of that was even blew me away even more. He goes, copies the link, goes to his contacts, and I don't know if you all ever seen, I mean, I don't know if you want to call the vice president of the United States a celebrity, but I mean, I call him a celebrity, and the vice president, everybody, a celebrity's phone contacts. But he's scrolling through the comments, or not the comments, his contacts, and goes to, in his phone, Donald J. Trump. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, I guess that actually is freaking Trump. And paste the link and hit send. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I just witnessed this. This is unbelievable. And I'm like, I'm standing there with the guy, and he's right in front of me, and there's a guy in a suit on the right and a guy in a suit on the left, and then some other people, and I'm like, this is, the guys in the suit, they got this thing, that little clear tube that goes over, I guess it's a headpiece, or an earpiece, obviously, but a radio or whatever. I mean, like, it was legit, and like crazy, and sends that text, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And we talked for another couple minutes or whatever, and I'm trying to, I'm thinking, man, I've talked to this guy for a while, and I didn't really know how long it had been at that point, but it felt like a long time. And I'm like, man, obviously he's got a lot more important places to be than standing here talking with me. And then he goes, oh, look. And I don't know if he said it exactly like that. I've told this story today 50 times to, 50 different people. And Trump responded with, I'll check it out, with a thumbs up. And I'm like, when he did that, you could see a little bit of their conversation, going back and forth or whatever. And it was links and reels and emojis and laughing faces and, thumbs up. And I'm like, wow, that is so crazy, that, and I started thinking, I'm like, I didn't even know, I had no idea how old JD was. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I had no idea how he knew how to, do these links. And obviously, I guess, normally, older people than me don't really know how to, normally know how to do all that kind of stuff so easy or whatever. And then, so I'll finish that part in a second. So I'm like, holy crap, I can't, and I'm sitting there thinking of a way, trying to bring it up, I'm like, man, I don't know if I should. And honestly, I didn't think to take a picture with him. Trey's like, you get a picture with him? And I'm like, no, I actually, I'm like, is this the right time to ask to take a picture with this? Obviously, I guess it was probably the right time, but the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, man, if he just shared our link on his social medias, but what he did when he sent that to Trump like that, and then Trump responded, I'm like, I was so blown away. I'm like, this is unbelievable, so I'm like, well, I said, obviously, you got a lot more places to go, than, sitting here talking with me. He's like, I don't got anywhere to be till next year. You know what I mean? Just making, when they get, officially, however you say that, inaugurated into or whatever that's called, into the White House. I'm still just blown away by what happened. It's just, it's a surreal experience for sure. Told a lot of different family members today and stuff, my family, and, I called Trey, and Amy as soon as it happened, and Trey's like, oh, you need to make a video about that. And I'm like, well, I don't have a picture. All I have of a picture was of the plane, is all, because after I said, I'm like, well, you got more important places to be, and he joked and said that, and then he, I'm like, well, I said, I actually gotta, he's like, I don't want to keep you from working, and I'm like, man, it was really good meeting you, and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I should ask for a picture then, but he said, have a great day. And like, what else are you supposed to say? It's like, well, what do you, I need to get like a speech typed up or something, talking points to what I'm supposed to say to talk to him, because you forget about all kinds of stuff when you're talking to somebody like that. But very cool experience, to say the least. And turn around and met that guy over by the gate, and he pulled the freight off the back of the truck and stuff or whatever. And the plane was still sitting there when I left, and I don't know if he was leaving or getting back or what, what was going on with it, but it was a very cool experience. And, I don't know if Trump subscribed or not. Obviously, he could unsubscribe when he walked away, JD, but I don't know that, but I did physically see him subscribe, and that's very cool. It was very cool. So wanted to come on and say, if you're watching us and you haven't already, you're still on the fence of thinking about it, the vice president subscribed, so go subscribe to the Bell Life Bangs, and hopefully Trump subscribe. I mean, he said all kinds of stuff. He's like, yeah, I love watching this. He's like, I told him, the type of channel that the Bangs channel was, and I said it's kind of, if you can combine MTV Jackass with like Hickok 45 or Kentucky Ballistics or Demolition Ranch or any of the big gun YouTube channels. And he's like, I love Jackass, and he's like, I love guns. He's like, what other, I don't know how he worded it, but basically it sounds like an awesome mixture to him. You know what I mean? If you mix the two between Jackass and guns. So it was really cool. And especially, right after, a couple days after everything went down. It's like, that is so cool, but that's what I wanted to come on and make. Trey said, he's like, you didn't make a video about that. And I'm like, well, I guess, I don't have a picture. I don't have any videos. I don't have anything of any of this stuff going down except a picture of the plane. And, you could say that's edited or whatever you want to say. I'll probably have, probably edit, maybe put Trump in the picture and, JD in the picture or whatever of the thumbnail. But he, JD for sure subscribed, and I'm hoping Trump subscribed too. It'd be cool. But that's what the story is. I mean, I was trying to think, even recording this video, any other little things that happened during that conversation. He said about oh yeah. I said, man, this is crazy to see your plane. He's like, yeah, I'll be upgrading soon. And I'm like, it was just all kinds of little funny comebacks like that. He was just very down to earth, very, you could be walking through Walmart and see him walking through Walmart, at the same time. Just a very normal guy. And it was cool. I think we need, what's, in this day and age, what's been going on the last few years, it's like, maybe, more normalcy is what the United States needs, is just normal, I saw a video today on TikTok of a fitness influencer, or whatever you want to call him, asked him what they needed to do to look like him. He's in very good shape. And, there, like he said, there's no special thing to, I guess this word kind of goes with anything in life. He said consistency, and it's like, that's pretty much with the gym. You go to the gym and you show up and do what you're supposed to do, and do what you're supposed to do with your diets, and the results will come. It's like, you go to work and do what you're supposed to do every day, and, eventually you'll get raises, and eventually you'll move higher up in the company. And consistency, it's like, that word goes with everything. And it's like, it was crazy. It was such a crazy experience, but just wanted to come on and share that with you all. And, I thought it was very interesting. So I try to think of anything else that happened. There's probably other stuff that happened than I told, but just drawing a blank right now of what else went down. I mean, upgrade, just like you guys, Android users. I mean, he said a few other things, but I did a lot of the talking, obviously telling the whole story about he was blown away by the social media stuff. I said, yeah. And I mean, those guys are talking to, obviously you saw, Trump with Nelk, and then Trump with Roman Atwood. And then, these guys are with the big dogs of YouTube. So for him to come and talk to, little old TheBellLife, is just cool. I thought it was cool. So, anyways, subscribe here, and subscribe to the Bell Life Bangs like the vice president did. And if you guys want merch, that'll be on the TheBellLife.com. And yes, to answer your question, if you're wondering, or even if you're not wondering, I put the vest back on because I wanted to. This is exactly what I was wearing when I met him. So looking at the reflection in the windshield, but I didn't even think of that. Daggone it! Trey didn't even say that. Normally when we meet people out in public, I try to give them a bracelet, you know, just because I don't have anything else to give them. I would give them my shirt, but I'm pretty sure they don't want the shirt that I'm wearing, you know, but, you know, a BellLife shirt or whatever. But I should have gave them a daggone bracelet, man. That was another thing I could have done. Think of all kinds of stuff. It's like when you're in the middle of an argument or something, or, you know, you think of something good to say after the argument's over. But anyways, appreciate you all, and just blown away. I really do appreciate you all and everything that's going on in the world right now. It seems like, in the United States anyways, it seems like everything's turning around and everything's going to be good. So we'll see y'all. Thanks.